Hello, good morning to you children. How do you do? Hope that all of you are keeping well. Yes? Today, let us come to the third lesson of moral science. The third lesson is on the art of forgiveness. The art of forgiveness. Now, there is a proverb which says, to err is human, to forgive divine. What do you mean by that? It is in the nature of man that he makes mistakes. God knows it. But the character, the nature of God is that he always forgives. So forgiveness is divine, connected with the God. And making mistakes is human. So human beings are lean to make mistakes. So this very proverb is a consolation for us because we will never think of suicide. Why? We suicide because we think that we have no more hope. Or God will not forgive us. It's not like that. God's nature itself is forgiveness. And it is in the nature of man that we will make so many mistakes. God knows it. When He created us, He knew us. So he is a father to us. He always understands us. So what we have to do is, don't go to despair or come to the suicidal tendencies. It's a coward people who do it. Those who are courageous enough, those who are humble enough, they will never go for a suicide. Okay. Now the key word of the key thing to happiness, or the main thing for our happiness, is to forgive. It is very difficult to forgive others, but if you want happiness, you have to forgive. We live in a society. In a society there is a family. We have our neighbors. You are students, you are teachers and other students. So you have to mingle with the society. You have to deal with different types of people. They are of different temperament, different mindset, and there is evil in every person. Nobody is perfect except God. So it is quite natural that because we are different, each individual is different, there can be clashes, irritation, frictions, misunderstandings, quarrels, struggles. All these things are quite natural because we live in a society of people with a different temperament, different mindset, and we all of us have something or the other bad in us. So what happens? Naturally we hurt each other. We harm each other. So, and this hurt feeling in us, it brings a deep wound in our minds. It is very difficult to cure this wound unless we forgive. The best medicine to heal the hurt feelings in us is to forgive and to forget. May not be able to forget all the time, but forgive. Even if the feeling of hard feeling comes to us, just leave it off and say that I forgive him. So our immediate reaction to any of the hurt is that we wanted to retaliate, to take revenge. Suppose somebody beats us or abuses us, we wanted to give him back the same thing in double. This is what human nature is. But a civilized person, a person who is educated, a person with a good mind and heart, what he will do, he will take all this in a positive way. He won't fight evil with evil. If somebody do something evil to you, you don't give back him evil. So that is not the solution for that. If somebody hurts us, the solution of the problem is not fighting evil with the evil, but it only increases this harmony, disunity, division and enmity in the society or among us. So suppose your neighbor hurt you, abuses you, you give him double of that, you speak to him double of that, then what happens? It increases, the disunity, disharmony increases, and there will be more divisions and enmity. Today you only spoke to him very abusive words, tomorrow you take a weapon and hurt him. So it is better to finish up then and there, forgive. The only solution is total and unconditional forgiveness. Completely forgive without any condition. Don't think that if he comes and asks me or hold on my feet then only and ask me for forgiveness, then only I will forgive. No, unconditional forgiveness. You take the example of our mummies. The child who is in the hands of a mother, he or she pulls the hair, beats her, and in the nights and all it is, makes such a lot of crying. Mother, she don't allow mommy to sleep, but still the mother loves. And no condition for mother's love. Unconditionally she loves. In the same way, I can give you an example what happened in Indore a few years back. Some 6 to 7 years back, there was a sister who is known as Rani Maria, and she was with a grudge. She was an innocent person, she was killed by a coolie killer. And she has a sister in the same convent. What did she do, you know? She and her family members fully forgave the killer. When he was put in the jail on the Rakhi day, this sister went and tied a Rakhi on the hands of that man who killed her own sister and told him that I and my family members forgive you. People can make mistake, that's what you have done. In your lack of knowledge or lack of education, you have done like this, we excuse you. And later on, do you know what happened? This man was so happy for that. Actually, he was with much revenge towards the person who gave him money to kill this sister. And he wanted to kill that person when he came out. But now the sister made him to become calm and cool. And when he came out from the jail, this sister took this man to her house, and the mother and the father of Sister Rani Maria embraced this man and told that we think of you as our own son, we forgive you, we forget you. So this man got quite okay. He is no more a gunda as such. He was being a changed man, because even though that their own girl or daughter was killed by this fellow, they never took it as a thing to do something, to take some revenge. They forgave him. So forgiveness always brings happiness. So the only solution to the present unrest in this world is total and unconditional forgiveness. Total and unconditional forgiveness. You have heard about Gandhigiri. What do you mean by Gandhigiri? The word comes from Gandhiji. Gandhigiri means adopting Gandhiji's ways of peaceful protest to get justice. Gandhiji wanted to get justice for India. Gandhiji wanted to get freedom for India. He protested not with weapons. He protested with a non-violence, peaceful protest. So Gandhiji was in jail, put in jail by the Britishers. What did he? They ill-treated him. They behaved very badly towards him. But what did he do? He did not do any harm towards them. He did not think very badly against them. He just had meditations, and he wrote letters and books in the form of in order to demand the Britishers, or to inform the Britishers that why India needs independence. So he was giving points to the Indians through his letters, giving inspirations to the Indians through his letters that how to deal with the Britishers. make them understand that why India needs independence. So he gave thoughts for them. So his letters and his books were a kind of inspiration for us. So Gandhiji did not keep any kind of enmity with the Britishers. Once it happened, Buddha and his disciples were sitting under a tree. Then a man passed that way and he abused Buddha. But Buddha pretended as if he did not hear anything. He did not say anything towards that man. So one of the disciples got irritated and asked her, why are you keeping silence? Shall I speak back to him? And Buddha said, you can only give back something that you may have taken. You can only give back something that you may have taken. That means Buddha did not take up the abusive words of that man. So how can he give back abusive words to that man? So keep quiet at that time. So what is the right way of behaving when you are hurt by somebody? So what you have to do is you accept the person as he is. Accept the person as he is. You understand that that person is a person who abuses. So people around you will give you poison and nectar. It depends on you whether you have to choose the poison or the nectar. If you choose poison, so you will be doing, you will retaliate what you got from them instead of that. But if you are accepting only the nectar, you will be behaving in the positive way. When you are offended, what you have to do? First, reflect. Reflect for some time. Then you will get calmed down. Then you will understand and think that that person has did it in his ignorance. He does not know much about it. He does not understand how much I am feeling. So in his ignorance he has done it. And unintelligently, he is not that much unintelligent person. That's why unintelligently he has done. So in ignorance and unintelligence, he has hurt me. So when we think like that, what happens? We will become very calm. We will get peace and happiness, and the blessings of God will be with us. God will bless us because we are practicing the character of God, forgiving. So to learn the art of forgiveness, accept that we have been hurt. Okay, I am hurt. For example, you see, you were walking and you slipped down and fell down into the gutter. What do you have to think then? You say that, yes, I have fallen down. Don't blame that slippery ground. Usually what we do, we blame the ground on which we have fallen. It is not the mistake of the slippery ground. It is you were careless. So you have fallen down. So don't blame others. Then accept the person with his negative and positive qualities. Just like you have negative and positive qualities, every person has negative and positive qualities, and accept him as he is. Understand, he has both. So make a firm decision to forgive. Make a firm decision to forgive. Don't plan to revenge. Don't think of taking revenge. Then when occasion comes, whenever you get a occasion, what you have to do? Do good to that person. He has done bad to you, but instead of doing evil towards evil, what you have to do? You do some goodness to him. Whenever you get a chance to do any help for him, do it. That will heal your wound in your heart. The hurt feeling will go away with that. And then peace will come into us. Peace and joy will be coming to us. Then you will become more pious, more gentle, and more dynamic and divine. So best thing is accept the person as it is. Keep little time for reflection. Calm down yourself. Accept the person as he is. And then you will become more pious, more gentle, more dynamic and divine. In the teachings of example, once Jesus was teaching and all his disciples were there, and he taught that forgive others, even to your enemy. Then the disciples, one of the disciples asked him, how many times I have to forgive my brothers or whoever hurts me? Jesus said, 70 times 7. What do you mean by 70 times 7? Is it 70 into 7? No. Jesus means that always, whenever you are hurt, you forgive. Always do. Always forgive. And you remember, Jesus was accepted by almost everybody except the high officers because he was criticizing them. Why did people accept him? Because Jesus practiced what he taught. Jesus taught that you have to forgive your enemies. There is no enemy for Jesus. And the best example for that is that while dying on the cross, Jesus was dying on the cross, all these people who were the cause of his death, who crucified him, were standing around him. So many were there, and they were laughing at him and insulting him. But what did Jesus do? Jesus looked to the Father in heaven and said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. So he asked God to forgive these people. He not only forgave, but he asked God to forgive them. Then Jesus once has said a story of the prodigal son. This story is said to show us how God forgives. He said, a man had 2 sons. The younger son asked his father, give me my portion. I don't want to stay with you. Give me my property. Divide and give me. I will go and live somewhere else. So his father, he tried to pacify him, but he was not ready to hear him. So what did he do? He divided his property, gave it to his son, and he sold his property and took the money with his friends. He went and stayed in a very far away country, drinking and doing all kinds of bad things. He spent the whole money with his friends. And when the money was over, his friends left him. And he had nothing to eat. And the famine has also come into the land. And he went and searched for work. He could not get any work, and finally a man told him to look after the pigs. Hundreds of pigs are there, he has to look after. But even the food which the pigs eat, he could not get. Then he came back to his senses. He thought, in my house, the servants are having plentiful food. Nothing is lacking for them. They are living a very, very luxurious life. And here I am, just like a beggar, nothing to eat, nothing to bear. I am suffering. So he thought that I will go back to my father. I will fall on his legs and say, Father, forgive me. Please don't accept me as your son, but accept me as a servant and let me stay here. Thinking that he was sorry for what he has done, what he had done, he went back to his father. Walking he went, and his father from that day onwards, he was much worried. He was waiting for his son. That is the heart of a father. He is ready to forgive and forget. So he saw a beggar coming from far away, and he recognized that it is his son. He ran to his son, embraced him, and his son wanted to say that, Father, forgive me, but his father did not allow him for that. He embraced him and brought him to the home and told the servants, give him a good bath, give him nice dress, shoes, then ornaments to wear, and let us have a party because my son was lost, now he has come back. So then there was a big party for his son. See children, here the father has forgiven his son. Unconditional forgiveness. He did not even inquire to his son, where did you go? What did you do with the money? What are the things? How did you spend the money? Nothing of that questions. He simply accepted the man. He wanted his son to be with him, that's all. So this is total forgiveness. Just remember children, and Jesus finally said that this Father is our God. And the prodigal son who went away from Father is like us. We are all sinners. We are all gone away from God the Father. But God is always waiting for us. He has no condition to receive us. Only condition is that we should be sorry. We should come back to Him. Don't go away from Him. Come back to Him. So we can have lot of happiness in our life if we forgive others. So also we ask God pardon for what we have committed. We might have been done so many wrong things in our life. But don't be afraid, because God is always ready to forgive, just like our father and mother who forgives unconditionally. So when we forgive others, there will not be any sense of revenge in our mind. If there is no revenge in our mind, we will be in a perfect happiness. Okay children, so try to practice the art of forgiveness.